So we got a little bit of a dilemma here on the property. We've got 20 acres. We're slowly building rental cabins. We've got the YouTube yacht going right now. We plan to build some more cabins in the future. In between waiting for YouTube revenue to build those cabins, we kind of do some planning and work on some low-cost projects like the road, the stone bridge behind you, and what we're toying around with today, a little exploratory mission, if you will. The Admiral is looking for some kind of swimming hole just randomly out in the middle of her property with a waterfall. And I've got to make a decision. Do we do a pool with the waterfall or a natural swimming pond? I got a ton of work to do, actually a ton of work that's already been done. You can hear the backhoe run in the background, and I'm getting ready to move this. I've got about an hour's worth of work. I don't even know how this video is going to end, but I know how it's starting. We're stacking a retaining wall right behind you guys, and then we're digging a hole just randomly and seeing what we find. And you guys can help us decide, a pool or a natural swimming pond. And forewarned, there's a little bit of extra excitement. I'll give you a clue. Oh! Well, that didn't collapse on me, so that's good. I don't hate what we've got going on there. We're gonna kind of step them back somewhat aggressively. That's that rock shelf. We're gonna try to get, I've got a good long one to kind of go on there. By the way, stacking your stockpile on top of an unsupported wall, by far the worst way to do it. Wouldn't recommend that at all, but here we are. Oh, I just broke my rock. Swap those two around. It is kind of tricky with a backhoe, but it's kind of looking like something. We will come back in the future and clean this up and tuck point everything like we did the bridge, the supports underneath the bridge. We'll stack the rocks, come back in one day and tuck point it and fill in all the big spots with some other rocks and make it nice and clean. Today's just trying to get the big stuff in place. Oh. Happy little accidents. Okay. Right there. I like that. hate what I got going on here. So I'm gonna just clean up what I can reach from here. I need a few more big rocks to set on that little wall, but I've just flat run out of them on this side. I can't get any more. So we're gonna have to get this cleaned up, get this pile of dirt. We'll take that pile of material that I got in the middle of the road, we'll loader that out. I think it's sticky enough we can just do it with the grapple. We're gonna find out here in a second, but we can get that moved out of the way, get back to the other side, do some more cleanup over there, and just keep moving. It's definitely headed the direction that I'm wanting. So we'll start working our way over here. I'm gonna level this up a little bit better with the bucket so it's a little bit more comfortable with the backhoe. We're gonna expose some of the top of this rock just because I think it's gonna look cool. Or just moving and doing whatever feels right with the machine, you know? Whatever it lets me do, that's what we're doing. I've been over there talking to you guys. You had the microphone the whole time. It would be very cool to clean the top of this thing off and use this for the floor of the shelter house, because we could dig this back as far as we wanted to. The only issue is it would take me a tremendous amount of time to get this material out of here with the backhoe. Maybe the dump truck, but the road's not really quite ready for the dump truck yet, and the dump truck's not quite ready either. It would be pretty cool. I can't deny that. I know you were thinking it. I know you were thinking it. I was thinking it. I'm just trying to look and plan out my route here and make sure I'm looking at this right. Let me show the geography and where we're going. It's fixing to get a little tricky, but nothing we can't handle. I said geography. I think I meant geology. So there's that ledge there, which this was once a part of. And at some point, this all got undermined to where there's no support. It collapsed and pulled off and separated. There's this kind of shale layer between that layer of rock and that layer of rock there. So we're getting ready to get into another type of stone. I just keep looking at this spot right here. I'm gonna pull up just a little bit and I wanna start digging out between this. We're just gonna throw the material over there. This is just an exploration mission. If it's wide enough to get a little spot where we can take a small dip, we're not talking jumping, swimming laps, that kind of thing. And I'm just wondering if there's not enough space between this break off and the ledge itself. Because this would be a cool spot to put it. If we put it here, and then we did clean that slab off and use that for the floor of the shelter house. So you'd have a little shelter house here, just a small little thing with a picnic table. And then a little thing here where you can just get in and get a dip. Let's just see what pops up when we start digging here. Let's see what we find. All right, let's try that. It's a fine line of getting a bucket full of material and pulling myself off the ledge. You know, I gotta really walk that line. An orca. Wow, I didn't know they came this far north. I'm not hating it yet. I did just bounce off a big sandstone rock, which was something I didn't expect, but I think there's a sandstone layer above this. If this broke away, there's a good chance there's some stuff down between these. So this is exciting. I don't know if you like just seeing what you find in the dirt, but I'm a big fan of it. Every scoop I take, I just get more and more optimistic about this being the spot. We got to get deeper, a lot deeper, but I like what we're looking at here. Yep, I got to get a dump truck finished. Supposed to be picking up the bed Monday? Monday. Today's, I don't know, Tuesday. As far as depth, in theory, we should bottom out of that next rock layer right there. I'm gonna start taking these other rocks where I flop those two and kind of go right there, natural creek. You guys get it. We're gonna do some loader work too. I wanna go ahead and start getting that stuff out of here with the backhoe. Clean this breakdown off the rest of the way, whatever rocks we get out of there, stockpile them, and just keep going. We'll just loader it. We'll loader it, I'm just too excited to not do it. We'll just make a pile out there somewhere. That's what we got. That's what that thing's for. It's moving dirt. You can do everything with it, just not anything really good. Too much fun, Mike. You're having too much fun. I put you guys right in the dang way. It is nice kind of having a spot to turn around down here now. Trying not to hit you. I'm trying. Hey, all right. So I just hit this right there and right there, which should be the edge of that rock shelf, which means this is ramped down all the way to the edge, which is kind of wild. We're moving crazy amount of material. I need to fix that pin real quick. I'm gonna take that, we're gonna take all this stuff and swing it into the trench I've got going on. Makes it a little bit easier for me to load out, and we can get that kind of cleaned off over to here. And we're just gonna keep the process going. I just can't believe that this thing is I mean, it's 1 o'clock and it's still running, you know? What's happened is that bushing on the other side is falling out. So the mushroom on that side of the pin doesn't keep it from pulling through anymore. And there's no spot for a bolt over there. Oh, we could probably drill one out at some point. Somebody said, Mike, you need to have that thing line bored. Looks fine to me. Honestly though, you think a fella's gonna take the time and spend the money to make a machine like this nice and tight? No, buddy. That's like a built-in float feature. I just can't decide where to set you. Right there's probably not bad. Now that's odd. That's something you don't see every day around these parts. It's a round rock. Now I know what you're thinking, Mike, there's a lot of round rocks. Not around here, believe it or not. Even in the creeks, the stuff is smoothed over, but you don't get a lot of round stone like that. No, that's normally something that was carried down by the glaciers, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but honestly, I've been digging for a long time. You don't see too many round stones. Curious to see if I find anything else cool between these two rocks. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Just once, you know? Just once. I think I said on the past video that the worst hoses, the next hoses to go are going to be the outrigger hoses. And sure enough, they are. A fella just puts a lot of pressure on them when you're running the machine. I'm going to get this ran to town and try to get it replaced this evening. And then tomorrow we'll be right back on the dirt work. I mean, 2 more new hoses going on. This thing just gets better and better. That hammer drill just beats it enough that it knocks those loose pretty easy. Really a handy dandy trick. All right, following morning, got my new hoses here. Mike, you gonna replace the ones on the other side too, since they're just as bad? Oh no. No, we have a strict don't replace it until it blows policy. This is the material we're in now. Some people around here call it a mudstone, some call it a shale. I honestly don't know the technical name for it in this area. Dig's pretty easy though. I need to go get the actual bucket for the machine because that stuff is just going to fall right through the grapple. Now welded a quick attach up on this a while ago if you weren't with the channel. Converted it to a quick attach. A lot of people said it wouldn't work, and they were right. It failed pretty quick. I did do some reinforcements to it, and so far since then it's been doing okay. It's still not as quick as I would like because there's a lot of beating and banging to get it to come off, but still faster than changing pins. Where's my hammer? I think there's some stuff we could still do to it to make it a little bit more convenient than what it is now, but we'll get there when we get there. I can't quite show you the hookup on the bucket over there because there's a truck with one coat of blue paint on it. Fella doesn't want to give away too much. There we go. We got some things to iron out, but still, makes the machine pretty versatile. So I'm wanting to scooch this ramp over to the left just a little bit. As you can tell, that's a little out of level. I got a couple things I can do with this. One, I got some high side material in the left side of the bucket there. I can dump some of that high side stuff over onto the left side. The other thing I can do, try to watch my cutting edge. I can swing my backhoe to the left side. Since we're on rubber tires, it'll make me tilt that way just a little bit. See if you can see what my cutting edge does here. Yeah, it makes the machine lean. Now, I've got a tree there to contend with, so I can't go all the way over. But each pass I do will take it down just a little bit and slowly get that leveled out how I need it. So the big decision here is going to be, do we try to make a pool in this area or do we try to do a natural pond? Let's talk pros and cons real quick. Here's what it comes down to for me. Which one's easiest to install? Which one's going to be more appealing? Which one's going to be easiest to maintain? And which one's going to be easiest to uninstall? Because I think that's one that people don't think a lot of. As far as ease of installation, I think it's going to be pool. My mindset is if we got this dug out enough, cleaned it back to both rock faces, which would be the natural retaining walls, then put a bed of sand down there, put an above ground pool recessed into there, and then whatever void space, we'll just build a custom deck around it. That's still a tremendous amount of work, but I think that would be faster than building a natural pond. There is so much that goes into those natural swimming ponds, and I've been doing a ton of research on it. Honestly, it's just a bit overwhelming. I also think a pool is a little bit more appealing. Now, although there are chemicals, and I understand that people are against the chemicals, we have these things here called copperheads and water moccasins, and what they love are natural rock habitats. So I'm not guaranteeing they would live inside of this thing we're talking about, but I don't know why I would go out of my way to create a nope rope habitat. So chemicals versus poison nope ropes, I don't know. A little bit of chemical probably wouldn't hurt, and we could investigate the whole saltwater theme as well, because that kind of seems to be popular. As far as ease of maintenance, they're both going to be nightmares. We've had a pool. I've had in-ground pools when I was younger. I've had an above-ground pool, and we have a just regular pond now. Maintenance is just always a nightmare. I think either way, building some sort of cover to try to keep all these leaves out would be the biggest thing to help us with that, but I don't think either one's going to be easier than the other. And as far as actually uninstalling this in the future, which is a big thing because sometimes we change our minds, sometimes plans change, I think it'd be easiest to remove the above ground pool. You just take it out, you haul it off to wherever you want to haul it off to, and you're done with it. When it comes to the natural pond, you got to kind of pull everything out of it if you want to be able to get the liner back out and then reshape it. With this, we could just pull the pool out and fill the hole in and be done with it. I don't know, there's definitely some things to think about, and the biggest thing is what the admiral wants to do, because that's kind of going to be the deciding factor, since she is obviously the decision maker, regardless of which direction we go with a pool or a natural swimming pond. I think this is definitely the spot. I think what we're going to end up doing is up that hill, get that brush cleaned up, burnt out of the way. We'll build a fake little creek bed. It looks like a spring's coming out of the hill. Pump up to that. That'll be the filtration system, waterfall back into whatever we put in here. we got some figuring out to do. Next video, I'm actually working for Dirt Perfect, hauling some dirt. The video after that, next couple videos after that, should be the dump truck. Hopefully getting the dump bed on, everything up and going, and maybe even hauling the first load. And then after that, we're actually gonna be back on the world headquarters for a little bit, doing some work there. We've got a partnership. They're giving us $2,000, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it's enough to get the land surveyed, some trees cleared, and some prep work done for whenever we go to do the big excavation down below. So we got some stuff coming up, which is perfect, because by the time we get the full plan figured out for this, we should be ready to be back on it. Pretty excited about all this. I'm pretty excited about you guys being here. I know initially we discussed doing the railings and stuff on the timber bridge in the next video, so maybe that'll be coming up as well. It all just kind of depends when parts arrive, when funding arrives, and what the weather's doing. My project list is a very fluid list, but it's always productive. Can't thank you guys enough for watching, and I'm excited to see what kind of feedback you got for this project.